We're going to talk about things that nobody else will. Success leaves clues. And if you're going to make the same mistakes you made when you were a teenager, then you if you want to get good at something, you've got to sharpen your sword. We're going to smash this. Thank you so much to Tom Smyth and Dream Apartments UK for sponsoring this episode and being a massive supporter of the Little Bricks podcast. Thank you so much. Hi Tom, how are you?
Completely fantastic, my man. How are you?
On top of the world. Thank you. Thank you, mate. Yeah, great. So listen, for those who don't know, Tom Smyth, owner of Dream Luxury Apartments, multiple business owner, extremely successful man, and a really good guy as well. You know, I've been fascinated with him. I've enjoyed our conversation. So before we go in, mate, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey?
Yeah, I suppose I just class myself, like I'm a guy from Belfast that's just in the zone every single day. I'm fully committed. From the age of 10 years old, I had a burning desire to succeed. I worked in a fish and chip shop. My best friend at the time, his older sister, got us a job. And, you know, we grew up in a house full of love. You know, we really did. And we grew up during a civil war in Northern Ireland. So times were challenging. But in my head as a kid, I still wanted to have the best things, like the latest football boots or the latest football top. But my mum and dad had an amazing ethic. You know, if we couldn't afford it, we didn't get it. So at the age of 10 years old, I decided to take control back. And I got a job working in a fish and chip shop. I worked out the back of the fish and chip shop in a shed that was freezing cold. And in the heart of winter, I remember standing in a bucket of warm water just to stay warm. It was that cold. Sometimes you had to break the ice on these big baths, just like you'd have at home, but we filled them full of chips. But from that age, you know, I had that desire to have the nice things in life, or sometimes just to look at my money box and realize I've put that there. So I started taking control back. And from a young age, at 10, I started becoming like a junior, version of myself as a young entrepreneur. And I realized the value and what money could bring. It gave you choices in life.
Brilliant.
From that age, then I finished school and I worked on a building site where the foreman completely hated me. And he hated me because of a typical thing in Northern Ireland where we're different religions. So like anything that I do, I always want to become the best at it. So I was the labourer for all the brickies. So I had to move all the breeze block and all the bricks. And the respect I gained off everybody in this massive site because I was like a young machine. I moved everything at rapid speed. And eventually everybody on the site loved me and they all hated the foreman. Not that I wanted that, but all I wanted was a job. And I didn't let anything else or anybody else take my control or my power. I simply wanted to do the job that was at hand, and I did. And since then, I've just always been the young grafter. From a very young age, I left the house at 18, just turning 19. And there was a ceasefire then happening in Northern Ireland, which was absolutely terrific for both sides. And house prices were at an all-time low. Just before the ceasefire, I bought a house. And that was something that was frowned upon and laughed upon by the lads in the pub because that wasn't on their radar, but it was definitely on mine. And that gave me the springboard to then become more of a successful entrepreneur because very soon after that, house prices rocketed when the peace process kicked in Northern Ireland. And since then, it's history. Our country's booming. And I suppose I've been part of this journey too. So feeling very blessed like yourself. Gratitude's a big thing in my life.
Amazing. So that'll lead us on to, the next part of your journey, I guess, would be your routine. Now, the podcast called Little Bricks. I genuinely believe in my heart, addicts go day by day, each day at a time. I think Little Bricks build big castles. Yourself being a leader of, property and development and hospitality, you're smashing it. Your habits are fascinating to me. The only person I've known with a discipline to your habits would be Gary Vee or maybe it's Kobe Bryant, God bless his soul. Can you mind sharing with us what your habits are, please, Tom?
Yeah, I think the important thing for me is to share with everybody I didn't wake up this guy. I've built this guy. And I have learned to do certain daily rituals to become the person that I am. I also feel very uncomfortable when I don't practice them due to something happening in work or whatever. And sometimes life will throw the kitchen sink at you. So my daily routines are 4 a.m. That's me up 6 days a week. On the 7th day, I actually found out quite recently that I am a human being and I do need to get a big sleep on a Sunday. But I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have a triple espresso, I then have a bottle of water with a vitamin C, and then it's my time to write. And in that quiet period of the morning, it's when I'm in full empowerment time. So I start my day by putting my armor on and I write a page of mantra. And at the top, I write mantra and I put the date on. And then I write at the very start, I am a warrior of Jesus Christ. Now, I'm still a bit of a hard case when it comes to business deals and things like that. However, I have been on a journey and I definitely believe God has saved my life. There's no doubt about that. I feel totally blessed, which I'll go into later on when we're talking about things. I then write things like, I am a man that makes things happen. Everything I touch turns to gold. I'm a loving dad. I am a loving husband. I am a total success and positivity magnet. I'm a dedicated elite individual prepared to do whatever it takes to achieve my goals. And this page continues in a quite a good sized A4 book. And the cover of it's gold, because I genuinely believe everything I touch turns to gold. Because you have to believe your mantra. You have to be writing something incredible about yourself. Why would you not? Why would it be average? And then you become the average person. I've also, one of my sentences is, I'm going from magazines to movie scenes. I'm coming to do it all, and that's my empowerment and my armor. So after my mantra, I'm ready to rock. But then the love in my heart kicks in and it's gratitude time. And I do 2 pages of gratitude, for God saving my life, for the food in my fridge, for the roof above my head, for the homes that I have, for my beautiful wife and children, for the birds and the bees and the plants and the trees, for my Lamborghini that's sitting outside, for tailor-made suits, for my amazing staff, for the memories of my grandmother and my business partner who just died. If people genuinely ask you, what are you writing your gratitude? I could write for a week because there's so much to be grateful for. Even all those people that failed before me, that give me the opportunity to where I ended up. It's constant. Sitting in an office with electricity, having a hot shower this morning. Are you kidding me? I'm living the life of my wildest dreams. And people take it for granted. They really do. So, and then it's goal time. And this is where it's a game changer for me. I'll write 6 to 8 pages of goals. And at the top of it, it says, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then I write in advance for every single thing I want. And everything I write keeps turning up. In fact, I checked recently, I have a box of journals and I was sitting with Molly, who's my really good friend from UFC, and we were going through old journals and everything in the journals I either had or had happened. So I totally believe anything I write will always turn up.
Yeah.
I also write goals to help me come out of challenges. So if I have a challenge, I'll write down what the challenge is. I'll write the solution to it. And at the end of every goal, I write it's done. And that's my agreement with the universe and my contract. And I also put the date on it because I don't live in manana world. Tomorrow could never be. I put a date on it and I know when that goal is going to happen. But I also don't live in Disneyland. I'll take massive action to make that goal happen. I'm not just going to look at it every day. I'll do multiple phone calls. I'll send the emails. I'll get my staff to send books to somebody if I want a book deal. I will do genuinely whatever it takes to make that goal happen. But my daily goals, writing them, keeps me accountable and keeps reminding me that I need to get this done. I need to push on. What are you doing today? What can I do to make that happen? And then after that, I'll go downstairs into my house, which I'm sitting in the kitchen, and I'll do my first training session. I've got a stair climbing machine. I'm completely addicted to doing stairs, whether it's in a building or on a stair climber, because what I like in life is what somebody finds really difficult. I always like being fantastic at it. So I'll do 30 minutes of that get showered, and then I head to the gym. And then I do my second session and I go to the office. Yeah. If it's on the flip side of it and I'm traveling that day, time is just a number. So if I have an early morning flight, I'll get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock, smash the gym in the house, go to the airport, and you're the most focused person that's in that airport. You're the most focused person, get into the first meeting. And people love doing business with somebody who's as sharp as a tack, and they can feel it. I like my energy being my business card and filling the room. And on that basis, people want to do business with you. So that's my daily rituals. It's my daily routine. And on a Sunday, I'll definitely do a 12 or 13 hour sleep in bed and wake up feeling like a machine just because I've caught up. But that's what I do. It works for me. People might think it's crazy, but it's became my normal. And it's taken me years to build to it. You know, you can't just wake up and 4 o'clock becomes your norm. It doesn't work like that. But you can build up on it by getting up 15 minutes earlier every day. And the time that you take back by getting up that early, like you're months ahead of somebody over a year if you add up the minutes. Yeah. Months, not even hours, months.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Huge game changer for me. Like.
Yeah, of course. So even if you're not as good as your rivals at the job or even level, but you don't, even if you don't have your intensity levels, which clearly a fucking blind man can see you're on it, right? You're too far ahead at that point anyway for them to catch you.
Yeah, well, you know, what you'd say, they're rivals. I don't look at anybody anywhere near me. You know, I believe it's domination, not competition. But somebody can have 4 PhD degrees, but they will never outwork me. Like I will work somebody into the ground. If I have to stay up for a week, do whatever it takes. And that's why I run like stir events for 3 hours and 40 minutes, half of Mount Everest. It's not the stir event, which is incredible because it's benefiting charity. It's having something that's a different mindset that'll break anybody else. So nobody can ever beat you. You become one of the things that I write. I'm a juggernaut, an unstoppable force. Nothing's going to stop me. But that's all my mindset.
Yeah. When it comes to business and succeeding in life, you know, I think success leaves clues. We just said Kobe Bryant, his habits, God bless his soul, we're absolutely off the Richter. You know, we'll touch on it later on, but young Grant Cardone is your mentor, he's your friend, and killer, a one-off, right? What habits do you take off really successful people? So when you look at them and go, I can get better there. Who challenges you?
Yeah, I suppose, you know, I don't take advice from barroom lawyers or somebody in the pub. I take advice from people who are doing something better, 10 times better than me. 10x, Grant, a billionaire. There's a guy in Belfast who I'm friends with who is a multi-millionaire who I'll take advice from all day long. So I'll only take somebody who's superior from me and I want to fill their shoes. A friend of mine's only after selling a company there for 98 million to the German government. And I'll take that man's advice all day long. So that's the type of people who I frequent with, take advice from. But then the respect that you're also getting back from them, because they're also commenting on, kid, you are smashing it. You are sharp as a tack. You're giving it all the time. I know you from you were no age. And it's great to see you getting on jets and this and that. And I'm just like, it's just all relevant. It's a part of my life now. And I'm so grateful for it. But it's the relationships combine and then there's mutual respect. But yeah, I'll only go for somebody who like is Grant or the billionaire if I have the chance to have the conversation with, because what people don't understand is one sentence can change everything. One word can change everything. One bit of advice, light bulb moment, I'm on that. And when you're completely in alignment and your levels of awareness are second to none, a word or a sentence can change your life and has done with me. So every day is a school day. Yeah. You know, I love learning from my staff. I love learning from listening to people, podcasts, reading books, you know, audios like yourself, and any chance I've got that to get more content into me and learn. I think that's the key. You need to keep learning on a daily basis.
Oh, let's sharpen your sword. Got to sharpen your sword constantly. Totally agree with you. So when it comes to mentoring, you know, you're a 10x mentor. Can we tell us a little bit about that, please? And your relationship, friendship with the main man, Grant Cardone?
Yeah, I think I'm really lucky. Well, I believe I'm really lucky. You know, it's 27 weeks tomorrow that I got a phone call from Grant Cardone's office on a Friday night, walking into the house. My beautiful wife's always waiting on me coming in. And she wasn't that night. She was downstairs in our purpose-built gym doing a yoga qualification. And I just looked at my phone and it said Miami, Florida. And I'm like, right, let's have this. Boom, straight on the phone. How can I help you? And the guys had said, Tom, it's Grant Cardone's office here in Miami. We have been following you for the last 10 years and Grant wants us to touch base with you. He would love you to come on and be partner up with him and start becoming a Grant Cardone licensee and sending the 10X message out to the masses. Now, for 2 seconds, my head exploded over the living room wall and I was so happy. But then I got goal realization and remembered I had been writing for a year, 1 year, that I was going to work with Grant. I was going to meet Grant. For a year, I had played the movie in my head and visualized myself talking to Grant, agreeing with Elena, the sweat running down my back. I could smell the heat in Miami. I just finished a training session. The two of them had met me because it flew in. And I was eating Greek yogurt. The blueberries had exploded in my mouth. And I was just having the conversation with the two of them like I knew them all my life. And I've had breakfast with the two of them 1,000 times. And I haven't even had breakfast with them yet. But I visualized it. I played the movie in my head and I wrote that goal like my life depended on it. Why? Because my life did depend on it. And then I got the phone call. So me being me, I says to the guy on the phone, why is Grant not on the phone? Like, really? Where's Grant? And he says, Mr. Smyth, if you want to go on the Instagram, press the button. Grant's on set in Puerto Rico making a film with Robert De Niro. And I'm like, holy shit. And he was. So, but true to their word, because the guys are such an honest bunch of amazing business people. 2 days later, Grant sent me a video, as you've seen. And it's personal content. I've never used that in social media because I'm just one of those people. I feel like a massive lot of respect for the guy. He's a wolf in business. I have so much respect for him. And I wouldn't put that video out on social media. That's my video, which is shared with you.
You did, yeah.
And you can see, I want to partner up with you. Looking forward to working with you.
Yeah.
And that to me was just the massive power of writing a goal because it turned up. So, you know, it's, if you believe something, if you're committed to it, anything you want in life's possible.
Ask, believe, receive.
So, you know, and then the mentoring then all came out of that. So, you know, being involved with Grant, fantastic. But then I opened Dream Mentoring, my own mentoring course. Since then, I've had superstar athletes, incredible business people, one guy in particular in manufacturing, double his turnover, which is 100% insane, but it's the truth. Yeah. Because some people in life, when they come on to a mentoring course, they will actually listen to every single bit of advice that you're giving them and apply it, which I feel blessed being able to do that. Am I any cleverer than those people? Definitely not. But I've made more mistakes. And that's definitely something we're going to go into when you're ready. You know, like failure is part of the process. If I wouldn't have failed a million times, how could I be somebody's mentor and give you advice? How could I bluff it and read it from a book? When you've lived it, you can give advice that will change people's lives. And I've been around a lot of corners, made a lot of mistakes. And now I feel blessed that I'm able to give that advice to others to help them have a springboard instead of making mistakes for a couple of years to bring them right to the next level. So I feel privileged to be able to do it. Love
it. You touched on something there. I'm going to go off script a little bit here. You mentioned about, you know, 10X team being so honest. I've had the honor of becoming friends with you, speaking to you over the past week, which has been a real kind of monster for me, you know, a human kind of monster, as a compliment there. Now, but I know that values are important to you. In business, can you still be a killer and a go-getter, but continue to be honest and have values? Because there can be a bit of a misconception, especially with salespeople. It's wrong because we're all selling all the time. It's human to sell. How important are values to you in business and family?
You know, if your word, like my word is everything to me. You know, you can hang your coat on my word. It's that strong. I'll never be able to break that, ever. If I say I'm doing something, it's done. You know, if I tell you I'm meeting you at 4 o'clock in the morning outside your house and we're going to run 30 miles in the fog or the rain, I'm there no matter what. Surely people need to remember that their name should mean something, because see if it does, they can base a career on it. You know, if I say I'm taking a building and I'm signing in an agreement for a lease, I'm taking the building. If I say I'm signing a lease or I'm buying a building or I'm going to do a stir event for charity, like half of Mount Everest, it's a formality. I'll always turn up. I will always commit. You know, loyalty. Like I've got people that work for me who are incredible. I do not know what I would do without them. My staff are incredible. My head office team are all elite business people who their word is everything to them. We will always deliver. And, you know, if I'm as sharp as a tack, you will want to do business with me. But like if I fail to call you or text you 5 minutes before this, sorry, another meeting's come up, like your credibility's down, you know. And family, you've touched on, family's everything. And to be fair, I've had a big wake-up call recently because I've been so in the zone. I've been living away 3-4 days a week, nearly a single lifestyle. And I've started to forget the values of how much my wife means to me and how much my daughters mean to me. And I've had a wake-up call that's maybe only lasted a few months. And I feel blessed that God's given me a nudge and said, yo, do you want to go through a lifetime and work your ass off and have no legacy for people to even embrace because they won't be there? Or do you want to remember your balance needs to get a lot better? Because I teach this in the mentoring. So I need to apply it in my own life. So success is so important. But I'm going to start flying home a lot more, making sure my wife Dolores is better looked after and loved more. And, you know, her love tank needs to be at full tilt and spilling over. And the kids need to know daddy's only a phone call away. He's not in Manchester. And, you know, success is so important. But that wake-up call of being able to see my kids and my wife more and like, wow, you know, I'm just so glad I've woke up to it sometimes. You know, I just don't know what to do without them in my life. But you could have went 4 or 5 years with that. But I genuinely believe I've had a nudge from God in the universe to say, don't scale it down, do what you're doing better.
Yeah, there you go. So before we go on to failure, because you said it's it's an essential part of the process of success. For those who don't know, what is success? If you're okay, you don't have to talk money, of course, but how many units this year, how many units next year will Dream open? And that's without going into the mentoring. And of course, you're a best-selling author now. Dream this year, just to give people a gauge of what success is. How many units will you open over this year and next year, please, Tom?
Well, you know, I suppose if we base it on, we opened over 200 odd apartments, 240 extra apartments through COVID. Who done that? Nope, nobody. You know, we genuinely were able to say on LinkedIn, our expansion continues. And instead of just existing, we started thriving through COVID. But it was because we were doing things like taking massive action. Instead of making 500 sales calls in a week, we were making 5,000 because 4,500 were dead phones because people were on furlough and their businesses were closed. But the 500 calls that we did get were wins. So then we all felt part of the whole COVID process that we were essential workers providing accommodation for key industries that still needed to continue to work. I think one of the biggest support networks we had the whole way across the UK and Belfast was from the police, who were incredible. The support we received from different police groups in different cities. So it was great to feel that connection. You started making different friends with different people. And but yeah, the whole thing, you know, we're just in this. We will continue to expand. We will reach 1,000 apartments probably. We will reach 1,000 apartments in the next 6 to 9 months. I'll make that happen. And our expansion will keep going and going and going and going. And that brand is my life, as are the staff, as are the customers. But we have went through adversity quite recently. But then you have to remember, have you had 4 years of amazing success? No. Well, then get in the trenches and bite your lip and get on with it. There was a while there, because of a shortage of housekeepers and stuff, because hospitality in the world as we know it has changed, that my amazing top executives and me were cleaning rooms. So what? You got to do whatever it takes to push through the storm. And now we're coming out the other side of the storm. We are bulletproof. We are bulletproof, and we are together as a team. And you know how strong everybody is when we're all cleaning rooms together and laughing and sometimes nearly crying. Can't believe I'm doing this. But it also makes you respect how lucky you are to have amazing housekeeping teams So all of it's a win. Gratitude's there. Our expansion keeps going.
Amazing.
Our foundations will get stronger. Adversity would never beat us. But it also gives you appreciation of the wins that you've had previously for the years that you've just done. So
yeah. So failure, right? People are scared of failure. It might come from our, you know, our love of sport, where boxers can't get a defeat, otherwise they're finished, they're done. With yourself, failures you've been through, would you be the man you are now, the husband, the father, the entrepreneur, the mentor, without the failures?
No chance. Failure is the making of you as a person. Surely it is. You need to fail so many times at even doing one thing to become a master of it. You know, you need to fail and make the unhealthy decisions as a husband to find out the healthy decisions that you should be making, to be the right husband, to be the right person, to be the right entrepreneur, to give the right advice. If I didn't fail 1,000 times, how could I mentor you? You would see right through me as a clever guy that I'm reading something out of a book, or you'd know that man is teaching me from real life experiences. That's mind blowing. So that's the difference. You know, Denzel Washington says, fail forward. How true is it? You need to keep going and going and going and going. And, you know, it's in my DNA. I do not know how to give up. Failure is part of the journey. It's part of success. It's part of the process. And anybody that says they're not failing, they're not trying, and they're lying. Trying's lying. You know, you need to keep pushing.
Super. Love it.
So we fail on a daily basis. But what we do as a company is we don't plan a meeting for next week. We'll just call a Zoom or a conference call quickly. We'll evolve, learn from the mistake, and move forward. And surely we should all be learning from our failures in every aspect of our life.
Adapt, grow, and overcome every single time.
Every day of the week.
Yeah. So Richard Coulson, my mentor, brought me into the industry. He gave me this samurai. He said I represent the samurai, which was an honor to me. I'm old school, I'm old fashioned, and I respect those who paved the way. He's a gentleman. He says to me, all the best ones, Lee, they're a little bit tapped. You've got to be on to be number one, right? Yeah. And a lot of them are, come out of addiction and then go off and go pop. And we've seen that in sport as well. Would you mind sharing your journey, please, Tom? Because I found inspiration in it as somebody who struggled with mental health and addiction.
Yeah, I went to AA for years, and I knew alcohol was an issue in my life. I was definitely not a guy that drank every day. I was quite the opposite. But if I had a bad week or a brilliant week, sometimes I would have had a drink. When I had a drink, it would have been like a fishbowl. And for some reason, champagne was my drink, and I don't know why, but I know it might be quite girly, but it was, but I was drinking half a bottle within 2 swigs, and then there was that was it. And then the next thing, that amazing feeling of everything's okay started becoming a part of my weekends. But then sometimes if I'd had a drink on a Friday, I could have lasted a couple of days. And I started realizing I can't go through life with a wife and children. I can't run businesses doing this. So then I decided I have to do something about my addiction, and I went to AA, and it was definitely by far the best thing I've ever done in my life. I did that for 2 years, and then I started repairing and fixing myself. But recently, I've dipped my toe back in the water and remembered how dark those days were. And to keep myself refreshed, I've started going back to AA, because you're only as good as your own accountability. And I've started keeping myself accountable again, because I'm that busy, that much going on. I know with that rapid lifestyle of success and happiness, self-justification can come in very quickly, and you think, I have a brilliant idea. I'm going to have a drink. But then that's where you need to keep yourself accountable, because you can lose genuinely, like I'd said in my TED talk. Drink will control you, and then it'll come back. It'll take the shirt off your back, and then it'll come back for you. So, and I think it's definitely one of those things in the business industry people don't really talk about, the CEO or the managing director. If people do have a challenge or a problem out there, go and stand up or sit down, whatever, in an AA meeting and tell people your name and get help with addiction and move on, because it's a disease. You're only a human being, and it affects millions of people across our planet, but it's the strong people that get help.
Yeah.
Because you will lose your business. You will lose loved ones. you maybe will lose your life because of it.
Yeah.
And, the empowerment I feel now by not doing it, it's second to none, completely second to none.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been there. Drugs. It's a fucking dream killer. Like, you just cannot. Sometimes you have a night out.
It's all over. Yeah.
How do you operate? Like, it's unbelievable what it does to your energy levels, your positivity, people around you, your diet. It fucking takes weeks to get better.
Killing yourself too. You are killing yourself, damaging your liver, every single thing. Your skin's horrible, your hair, it ruins everything. Because I think the different thing for us is one drink's too many and 1,000's not enough. But a normal person doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
But there will be people listening to this podcast going, that's me. I can't stop. But you can't stop. You just make a healthy decision,
Yeah. So being sober, is it a bit like performance enhancing drug for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd said in my TED talk, it became my superpower. And it's one of the first things that I'll do when I meet somebody is tell them, by the way, I don't drink. Because then it also keeps me accountable. If I am out for dinner with those people, or I am out for lunch, I'm not going to have the temptation. Something? I'll have a glass of wine, because then your name's dirt. So it's all relevant. I thought you said you didn't drink. No, I don't drink. I just ordered a bottle of sparkling water. Why? Is there a problem? No, good. No, I definitely will never be drinking in your company because it's not what I do. It's all relevant. And then people will also buzz off that. That guy that we were doing business with, he doesn't drink. Yeah. And it's then talked about in a positive way. Yeah. And if there's anybody that's trying to talk you down or talk bad of you because you're not drinking, it's because it's their weakness and they're actually uncomfortable in your company because you've got the power not to do it. Am I right?
Absolutely. 100%.
You've felt that yourself.
1,000,000%. Continue to. All the time. Far from perfect. I'm far from perfect.
None of us are.
Yeah. One thing I took, right, Tom, when I was listening to you, I'm a salesman. My product is life insurance. I believe I'm the best in the UK and I'm part of the best in the team in the UK by a long way. You've gone about calls, how many calls you'll make. And I listened to a story about your friend, the biggest estate agent in Dubai, who did 4,000 calls. How important to the salespeople out there who listen to this is the power of how important is picking up your phone and calling, not messaging. Fucking cancer in sales at the minute where people message calls, and then how important resilience for a salesperson.
It's everything. Cold calls, anybody can say whatever they want. Cold calls is the secret to all success. It always has been in Dream Apartments. And you have to remember, you have to go through a level of no's before you get your yeses. Sales is part of rejection. Rejection is part of sales. If you haven't got a backbone and it isn't in your DNA to love sales, stop doing it immediately because you're killing yourself. Go and do something else. Get a job driving a bus. Not that there's anything wrong with driving a bus, but if sales isn't for you, stop. And the thing is, if you look at the laws of probability, you're going to get no, and then you're getting your yes. But also, even the no's, if you can find a connection. Did you say you went to Dundee University? Yeah, my dad went to Dundee University. Boom, connection. You can turn a no into a yes very easily. And it's true, and it's not a cliche. If you believe, you will receive. So if you're going on to that call knowing, I'm getting this, I am definitely getting this, you're going to get it. But totally agreeing with you. If somebody thinks sending somebody an email or a WhatsApp is a sale, sit in the house. People do business with people. The connections are, the buzz, the energy, the authenticness of speaking to somebody on the phone, liking somebody's accent, depending where they're from. And then it's people doing business with people and you're doing the deal. And that buzz, even if it's 50 quid, 50,000 or 500,000, it's the same buzz. Yes, I got the win. Yes, there's not better than that feeling. Yeah. Sales calls, you should be training yourself up. You should be giving yourself your USPs of your product. You should be doing it on Zoom and teaching yourself what way to speak. People don't realize sales is, a vacation. There's sales training. Train yourself, do a course, become the best. Why would you not if that's what your job is? I absolutely love it. And the more volumes of calls we put out, the more massive action. We saved our business during a global pandemic. We opened Dream Apartments Manchester on the 4th of January during a grade 5 lockdown in Manchester. And 2 weeks later, we were fully booked because we took massive action and we made multiple sales calls. I walked onto every single live building site in Manchester and gave people my business card in the rain and the snow. And then we filled it, because sales is also walking on and shaking hands and leaflets and business cards and phone calls. And it's having that whatever it takes mentality. So
yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. So I don't believe it's a better time ever for young entrepreneurs, or any age entrepreneurs. I was wrong there. Any age entrepreneurs to make their dreams come true, right? So, for example, my mate Tony's daughter Rihanna, she opened up during lockdown, pizza box delivery on Just Eat with 10p mix-ups, the little penny sweets. Fucking right. Genius. Yeah. Massages, Reiki. There's so many ways to make, social media management. What would your tips be for young entrepreneurs or anybody who's got a dream and they're a little bit, shouldn't I?
Get up every morning and write your goals like your life depends on it, because it does. Definitely go with your gut feeling. Get behind something and give it 1,000,000%. And if it doesn't work, it's just what we are talking about. Failure is one of those things. Brush it off, get stuck back in, and keep pushing until you find the dream that's definitely suited for you. If you feel it in your heart of hearts that you have more energy than normal people and you're not going to work for other people and you're going to work for yourself, find the forte that you want, love it, get behind it and make it happen. And it really does work. When Dream Apartments, once we come up with that name Dream and we'll come up with a symbol, the brand was born. We got behind it and turned it into a global multi-million-pound company. You got to believe. Doubt isn't even allowed in the equation. It's not allowed in your head. You have to hand it over to yourself, God, and universe, and trust the process.
Yeah.
You don't need to figure out how it's going to happen, but if you're putting love, passion, and effort, it'll happen.
Yeah. What about people? Because it's usually family or friends, and they're probably saying it from a place of love or a lack of experience of winning, right? When they're saying, you can't do that. That'll never happen. You can't go there. You're from Belfast. You're from Teesside. How do you safeguard your energy and your buzz and your dream and your vision from that, Tom?
I've got tunnel vision, to be honest, and I don't listen to that nonsense. I really don't. I never have from when I was a kid. I was always this lone wolf who didn't listen to sheep. And of course, I respect my elders and family and stuff, but they aren't doing anything wrong either. They're just wanting to protect you. But you also need to understand sometimes people want to hold you back because they are judging you by their own failures and they don't want to see you doing well. I'm on an upward trajectory and nothing on this planet stopped me. And that's it. Every single day I'm looking for those wins, and I'm not going to bed until I get those wins. Every day. And I don't want it.
Yeah. So sports, I genuinely, my soul believe that sports can be relevant to life and relevant to business. Examples like Conor McGregor, him coming through the ranks of the UFC at the same time we start our business. Myself and Nathan, one of the partners, just a genius kid, love him. We just obsessed over him and his fearless mentality. And we spoke things into reality. His word was his wand.
Yeah, love it.
What's your thoughts on sports being relevant to life and business, Tom?
Yeah, I totally believe, Conor, I have a lot of respect for Conor. Even in my book, if you read my book, I've wrote about Conor McGregor in my book. He completely got inside Jose Aldo's head and told him he's going to knock him out in the first 30 seconds of that fight. And every single thing he said for weeks and weeks and weeks, and Conor wrote that goal for weeks and weeks, it turned up and it happened.
Yeah.
The consistency of that belief and that sport also unfolds in his business life, because he is, like I write my mantra, he's the man that makes things happen and everything he touches turns to gold. I also believe, but sport has to be part of your life, or fitness of some sort, to have that release in the gym and to let stuff go and, to get rid of stress. It's part of my daily routine twice a day, high level cardio and then weights, because it's also good to be walking into a business meeting and you feel and look like $1 million to people because you're making an effort. And unfortunately, we live in a world now where it's so relevant, with all these people on social media and Instagram, you know, when you're as sharp as a tack and you're in great condition, both physically and mentally, through sport, I think it helps you with every aspect of business too, massively, especially relieving stress.
I agree. For those who aren't following you on social at the moment, just get it in quickly, because I followed LinkedIn. That's how I become a fan, then to a friend, which I'm very grateful for. That the Lord give me that opportunity, and thank you. How do people watch your daily messages that you put out, and your values and your motivation? How will people reach you on Insta and LinkedIn?
Yeah, well, on Instagram, I'm Tom Smyth, the entrepreneur. On Amazon, I've wrote a best-selling world book called Fearless, and like I say, that it's on Amazon. Tom Smyth Dream Apartments. I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm all over social media. I've got an amazing team that do everything for me, and we continue to grow. I've done a very good, successful TED talk there on alcohol, and it becoming my superpower by stopping drinking. So I think I'm pretty easily found now on social media. And my whole point now of going on to social media is just to put advice out there sometimes to help other people. That's what I feel my calling is. You know, in the mornings I pray and say to God, please let me be a vessel of motivation and inspiration to help other people. That's where I'm at with this. You know, that's where I feel if something can come out of my mouth and help somebody not have a drink that day, or inspire them to open a business, or to keep going when they feel like stopping, surely my job's done.
Amazing. Now, social media, mind if I touch on that quickly, please? Because
Yeah.
I listen to Grant say, he's the man. Is he like that in real life? Is he that fucking intense? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So
How would you not be?
how could you not? Authentic, right? Addict as well. He went through the process, went to rehab.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Alcohol and drugs too, yeah.
Yeah. So before we touch on the book, which is a bestseller, there's Hollywood A-listers who've got this. You know, I'm an audio book man, but I've skimmed through. It's fucking life-changing. It's full of authentic, real-life messages and inspiration and positivity. Thank you, Tom. This has helped me massively. I feel like overly at the minute after speaking to you. So thank you. I'm very grateful. We're going to go on to the book. What does DREAM stand for, please? Within the book.
Determination, regeneration, energization, ambition, and motivation. So, you know, they were my points of writing that book. So people had core principles to follow that would help change their life. And then stories that had came through me, my life, and growing up in Belfast in Northern Ireland, that would show true value of growing up in a civil war. If I can do it, you can do it. No excuses, no holds barred, because we've all had our gripes, but it's finding the success, the positivity, the light inside the darkness, and becoming, you know, determination. Like, I am prepared to do whatever it takes. Regeneration, I regenerate every single day. Energization, my energy will be my business card and fill a room. Ambition, every day I get up like I'm penniless and chase a deal until I've achieved something that day. Motivation, I motivate the life out of myself, but I also know what it's like to be attacked by self-doubt. And that's why I wrote Fearless, because there's mornings that I'm leaving the house and feeling incredible, and then anxiety will hit me walking out the door. But it's teaching yourself that anxiety is also a trigger to realizing you should be doing something, or that it's a choice whether you have a bad day. And it's about finding that frequency and getting back on the level of positivity instead of negativity, and teaching yourself to have tools like looking at a photograph of my kids and getting rid of bad negative thoughts, or even a tune. Like I put on Pitbull, which you look like. I put on Pitbull the other day, yeah, and the tune had me pumping. But I was trying to find my level of alignment, because it was completely off, and that jolted me back in the alignment. So motivation is a whole different world, because sometimes you're not in that place, but you need to get yourself in that place. Having a bad day is a choice. I motivate the life out of myself till I'm at that point. Some days I walk into my office and people don't know I've been trying for 2 hours to get myself back up the elite level. And I do, but it's never giving up. It's a never giving up mentality. In it to win it all day, every day. And it might be that's a bit much. It's my life. Success is a journey. I'm obsessed with success because it's the legacy that I'll leave behind for my wife and kids, hopefully many years from now, and then my grandkids. That I'll have been the guy that stepped up, done what he got to do, to leave a dynasty of success that other people after me can all enjoy the fruits of. So that's really what my purpose is. And I love doing charity work. I love giving money away. But surely that's what we should all be doing in some shape or form.
Yeah. Is giving away an important part of getting more?
Yeah, but I think if you give away to get more back, you shouldn't be doing it.
Okay.
I give away with love in my heart.
Okay.
If somebody asks me for something, I'll stop and not do it. But if I'm not asked, I'll give thousands of pounds away a year and love every single minute of it. But I don't give it away to get back.
Yeah.
To me, that's defeating it. You give away with love in your heart. And if you're receiving something back, it's a blessing from God and the universe.
I agree. Because I've seen you two run 67 flights of stairs, can sprint it with a UFC professional fighter. But I haven't ever seen you with a big check in your hand saying, I've just donated this. I've never seen you saying, I've just done this, I've just done that. So that humility and that, giving for the right reasons, really authentic.
Yeah, it was 16. It was 58 floors, 16 times, right. Half of Mount Everest, 3 hours and 40 minutes with no stopping. There was paramedics on site, and the last one that we ran, we completely sprinted it and done it in record time. 40 minutes later, I was showered and straight out at my next meeting. Even Molly from UFC went, how are you doing that? But in my head, when I was on those stairs for 3 hours, 40 minutes, I was in LA, I was in Miami, I was in different business meetings, I was on a building site, I was doing different rackies on sites that I was buying. And the last place in the world that I was on them stairs. I was everywhere else. And it's great to be able to teach yourself that you can zone out. But the charity work I do sometimes is stealth and you don't know about it, like giving money to food banks and things like that. But you don't do that for recognition. You do it with love in your heart because you want to do it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Molly, she fights this weekend?
Yes, just completely adore her like she's my daughter. I became her mindset coach. I don't need to say it. She's the one saying it, that I've completely changed her as a fighter. I feel privileged. She's already won the fight before she went because we have done all the groundwork inside her head that all she needs to do is turn up. She's done incredible work in the gym, but it's all inside your head too. So in her head, she's already won that fight. I can't wait to celebrate it. I have her when she's in the shower in Vegas, she's already having the interviews with everybody, like BT Sports and stuff, and talking them through how she won the fight, because it's a mindset game. And I'm really looking forward to her, picking up the check or whatever way she's going to win this on Saturday. But we know she's already won. And she walks in the shoes of the elite athlete that's already won that fight. And that's a game changer because self-doubt doesn't exist in her head. So I feel privileged to be working with her, and I love her like she's my daughter. She's such an amazing girl.
Amazing, mate. Nice. It's really nice, the bond you've got. I watched the Entrepreneur Diaries. It's lovely. She seems like a really good person. And she's from Liverpool.
The thing about her too is she's such an educated, clever person.
Really?
And an elite athlete. Yeah, she's third level educated, sharp as a tack, and ridiculously funny. Like she just has you like nearly crying every time you meet her.
Yeah. So there's a connection there because Liverpool is like, it's like a bigger version of my beautiful hometown, Middlesbrough. You recently come to Middlesbrough to bring, this worldwide brand, Dream, to Middlesbrough. But you had a connection to here as well, which is crazy considering, our new friendship. So what was that, Tom, please?
Yeah, so my dad, when he was a kid, was a ridiculously good footballer. He had a fantastic left foot. He got a trial for Middlesbrough when he was 16 years old. And thank God he came home and married my mum, or I wouldn't have been here. Do you know what I mean? So I've always felt that connection from a kid in my gut growing up. Anytime somebody mentioned that, thought of my dad, thought of the love of the town, even though I hadn't been. And so then as things started unfolding, I opened Dream Apartments Newcastle. One day I decided I need to get down the road here. And I went down and the connection felt electric. but it was also the people. There's something special about the people from Teesside and Newcastle. You know, very caring, very loving, and more than anything, so genuine. And I also don't think they hold back. They're a bit like Irish people. They'll just say it how it is. So then it took me 2 years, because persistence is a part of my life. Consistently pushing. Met a Pakistani consortium who I became very, very close friends with. And then quite recently, then we got it over the line, got it agreed. 42 apartments right beside the train station, 60 seconds walk, 20 car parking spaces on site. Fantastic big sign beside the motorway. Hundreds of thousands of cars pass it a day. I'm now a sponsor of Middlesbrough Football Club. I feel so privileged, honoured, completely honoured. I've been in the stadium. It completely blew my mind. What a stadium. And there's not millions of pounds worth of business in Teesside and Middlesbrough. There's billions of pounds of business. It's an incredible stronghold. It's an industrial hub. And I just think it has so much mileage in becoming a huge, strong point of the Northeast. You know, it's incredible. And on that basis, I could see us opening a further 60 apartments and going to 100 units within the next 12 months. So we dominate the service department market. So hotels, watch out, we're coming in a big way.
Go and get them, brother. Listen, like, I'm blown away. You know, Tom Smyth, gentleman, legend, entrepreneur, a nice guy, dreams big, he's relentless, his habits, his work ethic, he's got humility, and he's walked the walk, you know, and he's very open about his failures. Anything you want to add, Tom, before we close off?
Suppose any of these podcasts and stuff, I have to say, I feel privileged. I see myself very soon going to Miami next year and being on a Growth Con and being on stage. So any of these opportunities are fantastic chance for me to get better at speaking and also giving a message out that hopefully one sentence or one thing might just resonate with one person and help them. So just a massive thank you to you too for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tom. I'd like to say thank you very much. This was a Little Bricks podcast with Tom Smyth and myself, Lee Flanagan. I hope you liked it as well as I did. God bless. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.